diplomats we have in Ghana today. One also because she's a woman of the people. I want to use this word loosely. She's almost out there. Like you see her, she's visible. You don't have to do much to see her. If you go onto her page, she's so active. How many people run your pages?
Oh, just me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You have time. You make time for your social media pages.
Yes. But it doesn't take long, actually.
You post and go.
I think of it before, and I do it. I work a lot after 10 p.m. when it's quiet. And
that's when you're just, this is just you time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or I prepare things, and then my manager tells me that's not the right time to post, so he tells me when I should post. But I try and make time. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm driving from one place to the other, when I'm driven, from one place to the other, I've got 5 minutes. I use every available minute.
You're on TikTok?
I'm trying, but I'm not really familiar. So I go and watch what's going on. I post a few things, but I'm not. It takes time to raise a whole community in a social media. So Instagram is the one that has worked the best here in Ghana. So that's the one I'm pampering the most.
You give us this impression that you're not the regular, whatever image or personality they've created for diplomats. You're pretty unconventional.
Am I?
Yeah, you do your job. The serious part we don't get to see, but we see the lifestyle part. You're out there. You love to have fun. You love people. Is that it?
Yes, that's right. But I think that when you're an ambassador, you represent your country and you represent your people. And I am much closer to what normal French are. Than a suit and tie, very serious person. We also have those, but if you go to France, you will meet more people who are just like me, who can do the job during working hours, and who like to party in the evening, and who like to mix with people. So I just believe I'm French.
That's it. You carry the spirit of your people.
Yes.
You're representing your people here. All right. So how have things been? Well, between two countries so far. You've been here for how long?
4 years.
4 years
4
already?
Years. Yes. It just went like a flashlight. It was just... Ghana and France have had long-term relationships. We were one of the very first country to recognize Ghana as a sovereign country in 1957 and to set up an embassy here. We already had a consul. So I've dug out the letter that consul sent to the very first newly appointed ambassador about the country, and the vision he had of the country was very interesting. Very friendly. People are very friendly, very hospitable. So obviously it was already the case 65 years ago, and it hasn't changed. So since then we've had some friendly relationships. We have cooperated in different areas. But there were areas that we had not explored yet, and that's what I've tried to do when I arrived.
Oh, okay. Well, we hear you're almost done.
Yes.
With Ghana, your tenure is almost coming to an end.
I don't think I will ever be done with Ghana. I will. I'm done with my mandate.
Okay.
I don't think I will ever be done with Ghana.
You're in love with Ghana.
I absolutely adore this country. I have loved this country, and it has become my second homeland, really.
Ooh. Was this your first time here? I mean, when you were
in Ghana?
Before you took up the job?
Yes,
to represent your people here.
Absolutely.
That was your first time?
Yes.
What did you hear before then about Ghana?
We don't hear much because you're a quiet country, so you don't make the headlines for big crises, coup d'etats. Well, you haven't for a while.
Of course.
We have a say in French that is, we do not speak of trains that arrive on time. So you don't make headlines for those. So sometimes there are a few things about Ghana and the agreement with Côte d'Ivoire about cocoa and these kind of things. That there's some positive news, but obviously the French are very much focused on the francophone countries, from which we have a massive diaspora, and it's countries that we know. For some of us go to Senegal or Côte d'Ivoire on vacation, so there's close links, and we all know some people around us in France who are originally from Mali or from one of those francophone countries. So I didn't have any preconceived ideas, and all I could see using the same encyclopedia as yours, like Google,
Yeah.
was very positive things,
Yeah.
and I wanted to. Before I arrived, all I wanted to see was the facts and figures that any diplomat has to know.
Okay.
As for the rest, I was very ready to be surprised, and I didn't come with any.
Kept an open mind for us.
Absolutely, and that's the best way to approach, I think, a country. And I was absolutely not disappointed ever.
Wow. Let's talk about cultural shocks. I mean, you coming in here was the first thing that you noticed, like, oh, wow, okay, that's different.
Oh, there's many things. The kindness of people. I remember one of the first, in the very first month when I was here, I went to Makola market.
Makola, yeah?
And it was in the morning, and I was wearing high heels, God knows why. I think I had some conference or something before, and right afterwards.
High heels
I
in
went,
Makola?
Yeah, I know.
You must be athletic.
Well, not enough, because obviously I slid and fell, and I
Oh,
found
no.
myself on the ground ridiculously, and the people around were all coming to help me, and was like, "Oh, sorry," and I was like, "But it's not their fault. Why do they say sorry?"
Yeah.
And they were all like, "Oh, do you need something? Do you need water?" One went to fetch a chair for me to sit down, and I was like, "Wow."
Yay.
There are places where
You don't get this in.
not at all. You're on your bottom.
on.
People just laugh. Worst case scenario, they drag their mobile phone to
And
snap
make
you.
a viral sensation.
But they would certainly not come to help you. So that was a great experience. I kept a bruise for a moment, but the whole reaction of the people was very impressive, and the way people welcome you, the kindness, that is something you have to experience it to realize. And I dragged a few people from France, quite a few actually, before COVID. I had visitors all the time. And that's really something that strikes them, is that in Ghana people are nice and peaceful and yes, friendly, and that is quite unique. Yes.
So our hospitality the world talks about is real.
It's absolutely real. Absolutely
All right.
real.
Maybe you're down. Maybe let's go to the bad side. Anything that you would tell your friends on WhatsApp in French?
No.
Aujourd'hui, don't go to Ghana. Like,
No. I would certainly not say don't go to Ghana. No, I would say it depends on what you're looking for.
Okay.
If what you're looking for is the light blue sea and sandy beaches with no waves, go to Maldives. But if you want to experience culture, tradition, people, diversity of landscapes, and a complete different experience, you have to come to Ghana, and that's probably a concentration of Africa. You can experience a lot of it. Now, I think I would warn anyone that the time doesn't have the same length. And the Ghanaman time is something. So I've learned here that shortly or soon doesn't really mean shortly or soon. It can mean any time between now and later, with no deadline. So
it's something we fight all the time.
Yes.
You know, when the government says, "Oh yeah, I'll be there in 5 minutes."
Yes.
Give him 5 more days.
Yeah.
So it's something you've gotten used to.
I try to take that into account when I have to schedule something. But it's quite surprising when when you arrive, because you feel guilty that you are early.
Yeah.
And sometimes you double check on the invitation what the time was.
Did I get the time wrong? Did I get the
Did
day wrong?
Did I get the day wrong?
Yeah.
And eventually, like 2, 3, 4 hours later, someone turns up and says he or she will be with you shortly, and you're like, seriously?
After 4 hours, you've had that experience.
Oh yeah, yes. So
after 4 hours of waiting,
yes,
they come out and say, "Okay, I'll be there with you shortly."
Yes.
4 more to go.
Yeah. So it happens. It happens. But people are always very sorry that they're late, but they are.
I mean, we apologize all the time.
Yeah.
You seem to be one that is explored enough of our tourist destinations.
Not enough.
Well,
I wish I had been able to do more.
Oh yeah.
But I've I've tried to be around.
If I'm to give you or you're to give us a list of top 2 places you've been in Ghana that
So
could be outside the capital.
again, depends on what you're looking for.
Okay.
If you want wildness and wildlife and genuine kind of environment, you have to go to Tamale
Up north, yeah.
and Damongo, Mole Park, and these areas. If you want to see history, you have to go to Cape Coast and Elmina. And then everywhere, in every region, every places, there is something to be seen. You've got an amazing heritage, the Ashanti buildings, the mosques, some very old churches up in Navrongo. So all that has a history, and it tells about the history of the country, but also the history of Africa and the history of humanity. So depending on what you are interested in, there is so much to be seen. And you also have amazing beaches. I love the Atlantic and the waves, so I'm much more than the flat lake of the Mediterranean or Indian Ocean, but it's a matter of taste. I like the sea breeze, and you have everything here.
That's
you really have all of that.
Wow. Well, guess you just tuned into the 3FM Drive. We're spending some quality time with our very first ever diplomat on the show. Yes, the French ambassador to Ghana, Her Excellency Anne-Sophie. Yes, and I've got to say this, she's got such an impressive resume. You've been with the Ministry of Defense.
Yes.
You actually headed that.
Yeah.
You're also in the media for a while. You're into sales and all that.
I'm not really in the media. I was pushed in the media. I was
explain that part for us.
I was. I had my first experience in the media in 2008. I was Director General for the French ship owners, and one Friday evening, because it always happens on a Friday evening when you think you're done with your week. The Ponant, which was a cruise boat, has been hijacked in the Indian Ocean, in the Gulf of Aden. And it was like 3 p.m. These people do not respect working hours. So by the time I walked out of the office at around 5 or 6, there was a forest of journalists and microphones, and because people wanted to know about the hostages and about this hijack and everything. And I found myself thrown in the media, knowing that whatever I would say could be dangerous because because the negotiations were ongoing, and we were not sure that the hijackers had identified all the members of the crew. Some may have had hidden, so I couldn't even say how many members of the crew there were. And
baptism of fire.
Yes, and that was absolutely a moment of tension, and I must have done pretty well, because after that I was asked for every interview, and I did like 14 in 3 days, and the pressure went down a bit after a few days, so like the Wednesday or Thursday the week after. And of course, thanks to the intervention of the National Marine in France and the air marine that we had, and they interfered, and they freed the hostages, and that was again a Friday, so that ruined again my weekend on the media. So
you love your weekends.
Yeah, I love
like,
my
guys,
weekends.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
You get the best part of me Monday to maybe Friday morning,
Absolutely.
mid-morning.
So that was the beginning of I don't know what a weekend is anymore. And then I didn't mean to go back to the media. Honestly, I've always thought that I was more of a back office kind of person, and I worked for ministers. I worked for, and I was very happy to write their speeches and everything, but I not to be in the first in the spotlights. And when I was appointed ambassador, I thought, okay, I will have to carry this image of representing my country, and I will have to step out, even if I like the back office work. And the idea came of reaching out to people through a TV show.
Okay.
And we started discussing that with Bolloré and with Crystal Banda, who passed away.
Yeah,
after,
the late
Crystal Banda. We started putting together the concept, and I started writing the scripts and everything. And then I told Bolloré, okay, now we've got to find someone to host the show, someone who speaks French a bit and who speaks English and who can do
Speak French.
Speaks
I
French.
mean, you're talking to one. Okay, you continue.
You do speak French?
In my imagination, I
Oh,
speak
right.
all languages.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the best place on earth, imagination, isn't it? And Bola just said, "You'll do it."
Oh.
And I tried to negotiate, and then if you know Bolloré, you know that you do
Yeah.
not get to negotiate.
Oh
for
yeah,
long,
no.
right?
That's a man with the big voice.
Yeah,
It's like,
he goes, no,
you
will
can
do it. Yeah, you will,
It's
exactly,
possible.
exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So I just freaked out, and I said, okay, I'll do it. And I was really anxious because we had invested a lot. The sponsors had invested a lot of money and a lot of time and everything to put it together. And I thought, okay, if I do the interview and I fuck up, there's gonna be he's gonna be on my neck. It's gonna be terrible. And I just forgot about the cameras. I just had a conversation like it was in my office, and somehow it worked. Somehow it works.
Wow.
So, but it doesn't make me a media person.
Well, you are, and you've been at it for a while. So wait, what happens to that now? Now that you are, you're nearly done with your mandate.
We have shot 2 seasons of 13 episodes.
All right.
And I've stopped after 2 seasons because I didn't want the 3rd season to be aired after I was gone.
Oh, okay.
Because it would have been a pain in the neck of my
your
successor.
replacement. Yes.
So I thought I will leave all the notice on how to do it, instructions how to make a TV show if he or she wants to take over.
Okay.
But I think that those 26 episodes we have addressed mainly every area.
Yeah.
So
Because you guys were neck deep into arts, you know. And some of the things we do here, some of those unique things between the two countries. Is that it?
Yes.
That was the plan.
The plan was to show what France does and what France does in Ghana, addressing 26 different areas. So it could be football, health, handicap, business, gender, music, entertainment, TV, what else? Holidays, celebrations. So we took 26 different animation where my guest was a cartoon. It was a cartoon. I interviewed a cartoon.
That's interesting.
I did.
Yeah.
It was Anansi, Kweku Anansi.
Kweku Anansi.
Yes.
Wow.
So it was fun to shoot actually because I was literally talking to a cushion and then the cartoon came in.
You shot on green.
Yes.
Okay.
No. We shot in real, and they added the animation company
During editing.
Max. They edited and they put the spider on my shoulder and then on my sofa afterwards. But shooting in it, like pretending I was actually talking to that thing that wasn't there.
It worked.
It was funny. It was funny. So yes, well, the president was also on the show for the business episode, and I had great celebrities who came to talk about different themes. I mean, Sarkozy came to talk about music, and I had an episode about cars with Stone Boy, and one about literature with Jackie Appiah, because we had shot together a film where I was a publisher.
You were in the film as well?
Yeah.
So, wait, what haven't you done whilst here? Like, because you seem to be everywhere. You seem to be in football. You had a show of your own in the kitchen. You talked to superstars in the cars. You were into... You're now telling me you've been in movies as well.
Yes. Well, it's not my fault. They asked me.
It's not my fault.
They asked me, and I thought it made sense. You see, it made sense to be a French publisher in a movie who shows interest for Ghana literature. I thought that symbolically it was sending the right message.
True.
And I played in a series as well where a whole episode was dedicated to a visa fraud, and I thought it was good to educate people through these agents or intermediary who can put you in a very dire straits. And every way to put the message through was good. So I played in that as well. And then, once people have seen you on screen, they think that you're professional, which I'm not. But
I think you did fairly well with your intro, your harsh intro into the media space. And this time you had to be in front of the camera. Of course, that's not new to you, but you did your thing. How do your handlers, how do they manage your personality, knowing your handlers, maybe your managers, those you work with in the office, your PA, I think your team members.
I'm taking good care of them because they are working for me. They are doing their very best for me. So I try to be understanding and as clear as possible in the instructions that I give.
Do they ever tell you that, hey, we don't think that will be diplomatic, or that's different from the usual?
No, because the goal is make France shine, make France known, make France appreciated, and that is diplomacy.
You've done way above that, actually.
Well, I don't know, but none of those situations were to be criticized as, oh my God, this is completely anti-diplomatic.
Okay.
It was not going against. What would go against diplomacy would be to violate the Vienna Convention, would be to do something that gives a bad image of your country, of the people you represent.
Okay.
And I don't think I've gone that far.
No, you haven't. All right. So, well, those of you who got questions for the French ambassador, please, the time is now. Hashtag the 3FM Drive. I'll find you, or send me a WhatsApp message on 020 26 29 860 020 26 29 860. I've got a few questions here. Giovani, she's such a lovely person. Please speak French, Giovani.
Oh yes, please. We are all ears.
I've always maintained that I might speak French, but I'm not too sure if she would understand it as French.
Okay.
Because my French is just for me and me alone.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
I separated my language from the country.
Okay.
Yeah, so mine is Giovani pro-French, you know, something, whatever that means.
Not much so far, but it's interesting.
So, hi, please give us some French lines. Please let us show you her dancing skills. That's coming from Papa Ni Nene. Giovani, she loves fun, Papa, and I like her for that. Ghana is home to all these great minds, great folks. Please, let's encourage more ambassadors to follow her. I so admire her from afar. Seth, are you saying this because you want a visa? So there's another one here.
I don't do visas.
Yes,
I
exactly.
don't do visas.
Please explain that. Do people come to you randomly at some of these
all
events?
the time. I get many phone calls for visas. I don't do visas. I'm not the consul. The consulate do visa, not me. So the applications are online to make it easier for people to fill in the forms and everything. We cannot do visas. The consulate doesn't do visas by walk-in. It has to go into the system.
Okay.
And that is online. And then you get a registration number, and you can make an appointment to come and submit your documents. Sure. And usually a week later, you get your visa. Okay. We are pretty. My services are pretty overwhelmed, and they're trying to do as best as possible. But in case of emergency, there's always a possibility of calling the consulate and asking if it's possible to have a very early appointment. But otherwise, I always suggest to start the process like 3 months before you want to
your intended travel
yes.
date. Okay, that's beautiful to know. Giovani, please ask her what she would want to be remembered for.
What would he remember me for? I don't think we decide what we want to be remembered for. I think we will see within a few years if people remember and what people remember. What I've tried to do is to leave a legacy, and not to leave completely Ghana by creating a fund, which is because people call me Akosia.
Yeah, the Akosia.
Sunday born.
Yeah.
And so I created the Akosia Fund to be able to carry on supporting small projects in the areas where I have been installed or enskinned a development. So enskinned up north and installed in the Bono region.
Okay.
So in these villages or places where that have really showed me so much esteem, I couldn't just walk away. So I've created a fund so that I can carry on helping these communities.
Okay, so there you have it. French ambassador and Skinner's development queen mother for Bono Butu.
That's right.
Where is that?
Are you Ghanaian? It's up in the north, in the Upper East region. It's Bolgatanga.
Okay, all right. That's a trick question, by the way. So, yes, let's talk about your first meeting with the president of the nation, who started his law career in France.
Yes.
So you guys spoke French?
Actually, the first encounter is always the presentation of the credentials,
Your mandate, yeah.
credential letters. So it's a very, very formal moment, and we have to speak English because the press is here and they want to report whatever we say.
Okay.
And we had been very well prepared and briefed by the head of protocol at that time, and there were 7 of us presenting our credentials. And I thought, okay, so we are all going to say the same. We're all going to say we're happy to be there. We want to tighten the links between the two countries,
bilateral relations,
etc.
Diplomatic grammar.
So yes, so I thought, what will, tomorrow in the press we'll say 7 ambassadors presented their credentials, and it was September 2018, and France had just won the World Cup for the second time, so we had gotten our second star, and I thought I struggled during all the month of August with Nike to get a jersey, one of the latest one with the 2 stars of the French football team, and I had it with the name of Nana Akufo-Addo on it.
So customized.
Customized. So at the end of this speech that was very, very formal, I drew that jersey and offered him the jersey of the French football team, and that was the only photo that was in the press.
Wow.
So that's how it started.
Yeah. Did you come here with a plan?
No, but I felt
well, of course you have plans for your, but I'm sure everything just was working in the right this thing for you. I mean, how your love for, you couldn't even hide your love for our entertainment, arts, creative sector. It showed in everything you did, whilst how does that even mean, what does it even mean to you? How do you see the importance of our creative art space in projecting the culture of your people?
Well, I grew up in an environment of music, and my music clock stopped in the 1970s, because that's where the whole creativity was, and the whole groups and new music was. And since then, it's been remixes, it's been an era of not so much original creative music. So I've lost interest in the latest music, and I would listen to it, but not very seriously. And what my children were listening to, I was like, oh, okay.
Who is that?
Well, but
is that song new?
It is not as creative as it was in 1970s. And when I arrived here, suddenly there was something new. There was new rhythms. There was something hyper creative and very, very professional in the way it was edited and produced. And I thought, there is something here. And that's how I started getting an interest in that music. And then we had the opportunity of doing featurings with French singers and Ghanaian singers. And when I heard what that mix was capable of producing, I thought, wow, there's really something. And music is a bridge that can link the people and can link the countries. So that was one of the reasons. I thought music somehow is diplomacy. It links the people, it links the country. And at the same time, I realized that when exporting music was saying something, what you call, I would rather say made in Ghana music rather than Ghanaian music, but because it's not traditional Ghanaian music, it's international standards music made in Ghana. And exporting this speaks for Ghana, for the professionalism, the creativity, the preciseness as well of what they're doing, and the quality of what they're doing. And when French investors, French companies are looking at investing in a country, when they see that as a window, it's attractive. Yeah. It says something about the country. And I thought maybe I can promote Ghanaian music or music by Ghanaians in France, and it should give an image of Ghana.
Is that why you met folks within our music space?
Well, things just happen, you see. It's the first musician I ever met was Sarkodie.
Oh.
It was in a function end of 2019, I think.
Okay.
And
just before COVID.
Yes, just before COVID.
Okay.
And I didn't mean at that time becoming friends with the whole entertainment industry. It was what we spoke about was more how to impact society.
Yeah.
We spoke about policy and how he is trying to give back to the community, and he very quickly understood that me and rap were really very foreign, and he then was kindly he accepted to be my guest on the on my TV show.
So you were producing your show whilst there?
Yes. I was producing my show at that.
Okay.
So he was then my guest for an episode about music, and we remained friends since then.
Okay.
But the rest of them, I think I met when they did the featuring with Passy. I think Stoneboy I met before as well. I think he woke me up very late in the evening because he was stuck at the airport during COVID, where there was a new regulation that had popped up in the morning that even in transit they needed a clearance.
Yes.
So he had my number from Bola because he was supposed to be my guest also in an episode, and that's how we became friends. As for the rest, I met them later. I met them later when we did the Paris and Accra in Paris.
Yeah. In your own assessment, how would you rate that? Paris and Accra in Paris. How would you rate that event?
It was beyond what I would have thought. When we did the Paris and Accra in Alliance Française, I thought, we'll have some Congolese and some French, because Passy is both French and originally from Congo, Brazzaville, and we'll have some Ghanaians. And when I saw the crowd, that was completely multicultural, multinational, way beyond all Francophone Africa and all the Francophone world, as well as people from absolutely everywhere. I was so impressed, and I thought, okay, we've got to try and do that in Paris. So we chose a venue that was one of the most prestigious venues inside Paris. I didn't want to do that in a underground garage somewhere. It had to be a beautiful venue where the biggest Broadway or international artists had performed. And the crowd there again was completely multicultural, multinational. There was Ghanaian diaspora, but all the African diaspora, and also all the French, and that is so heartwarming. And that was the proof that music is something very, very strong that links the people. And when I came back to Ghana after that concert and realized the impact that the Accra in Paris had in Ghana, the pride that the people had taken away from their artists, some of their favorite artists performing in France and having a blast. That was also very heartwarming, and I thought, wow, actually Ghanaians deserve this kind of good news sometimes. So no pressure on the Black Stars, but if you could win, special message, if you could win the World Cup, that would be so good for the Ghanaians' mood.
You would only choose the Black Stars over your national team?
We won twice already.
Okay. So you're thinking that let's allow some new entrants?
I think the Black Stars, they deserve to win. They were very close a few years back.
Wow.
And they deserve to win. They have an amazing team with amazing individuals.
You're stuck here. You're full-blown Ghanaian now.
Thank you.
Over here on the show now. I've got a message here from a young lady who says, well, you're very inspiring. Let me get the name. This is Linda Arthur. And says, Giovani, please, she's such a delight to watch. All right, please ask her what she'd say to ladies who look up to her and want to be, if not more, just like her.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Linda, I don't know, but I think I would give anything to be just like you.
Oh. Why though?
Well, because by the sound of it, she's probably 20 or 30 years younger.
Yeah.
And I think that it is amazing when you have the whole life in front of you and you can make choices and you can try and fail and try again. I think we each have our own path and personality and destiny and network, and every life is unique and we have to try and make the most of whatever we can do, what we're good at, and what makes us happy, and I think that's, if we do things without enthusiasm, I don't think we can do it well.
Sure.
So I know sometimes when you have to work because you need to survive.
Yeah.
It's difficult to find enthusiasm in what you do. But you can see some people who manage to, make everything fun, and if not fun, at least something positive.
That's right.
And so, yeah, I think life is pretty short, and you end up meeting the same people all the time.
That's right.
20, 30 years later. So you have to be kind to everyone, because you never know. The people you step on their feet one day, they might remember it when you cross their path again. So yeah, try to never do anything that you may regret, and try things. Just try things, and just be yourself.
Be yourself. Powerful. Anne-Marie wants to know what next. After you're done with your tenure in Ghana, what next? Do you have another country you're going to?
I have no idea, which is quite funny.
Is that normal?
Yeah, well,
in your space?
we changed government recently, so they settle down and they will take care of ambassadors later. So no, I don't know what's next.
Wow. Okay, Giovani, please, has she been to any other African country, and can she compare those countries to Ghana? What are her likes and dislikes? Nana Yao.
Well, I hope to be appointed in an African country again, and I hope I will not compare. I hope I will give this country the same chance of coming with a clean slate, open mind, and if I go there comparing to Ghana, I might be disappointed wherever I go.
Yeah, true. Well, which other African countries have you been to?
I've been to many, not as a diplomat, but I've been to many, because I was in the Ministry of Defense. I was head of the human resources, so I wanted to go on the field. I was already unconventional as a HR director. I wanted to go on the field. I wanted to meet the people I was working for. So I went to Gao, I went to Niamey, I went to Niger, Madama, and in the middle of the desert. And I really wanted to be with the soldiers on a daily basis to see what their life was like, because making decisions in an office with air conditioning is very different from being on the field with a full metal jacket by 45 degrees, drinking 10 liters of water a day. You cannot feel what it's like to be on the field if you haven't been. So I have been to these countries, and to Côte d'Ivoire, where we used to have a military base, and so Chad and Ethiopia, Djibouti, and I think that's about
that's
it.
A long list
and
there.
North Africa, of course.
Okay, let's see if we can pick two calls. Just two calls.
Oh God.
Just two calls for her. 0592 928 795 0208 Then we get down to her favorite GH songs right now. Up in Aflao, to the border town, to Lomé, and
you didn't learn French.
That's the thing. I never liked my French teacher, because he's got this thing for kids with big head, and he never really liked us, and he insisted that we had to speak French before we go use the private and all those things, and I'm like, I'd rather die, you know. So I was just that stubborn child in class. So yeah, that's it. But this one song that I grew up listening to, and I knew it was a classic French song. Absolutely. This by Edith Piaf, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
love the song. Absolutely. Yeah. And I got John Dumelo to sing it in my show.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
The song?
Yes.
He knows how to sing in French?
He did. We did a karaoke, yes.
Oh,
He does speak a lot of French, yes, he does.
Really?
Yes, he's very impressive. No, not un peu, un peu. He does speak really well. Yeah, he speaks well.
We'll speak French after the calls. 0208-227-290. 0208-227-290. Send us a WhatsApp message on 020-2629-860. We've got the French ambassador here with us live on the 3FM drive, and we've been just having conversation about everything here works, and of course life in general. We also read that you want to settle at some point in Ghana. Is that true?
Oh, I have a house here.
You bought a home here in Ghana?
Yes, so I will definitely come back.
Wow.
To my house, yes. I told you it's like
so
my
you want to
second
start?
home.
You want to start a family here as well?
Oh, I've already got a family. I'm not gonna. I've already got one. No, but I want to maybe retire here or come back when I'm done with my
the calmness that comes
yes,
with being.
yes.
And now you know your way around town.
Yeah, well, I will have to learn a bit because I was driven by my driver for most official assignments.
Yes.
So there are places where I can drive to.
Okay.
And otherwise I would get lost very easily.
Okay.
So, but
Let me see if I can get this caller for you. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. My name is Kwabena, and I'm enjoying the conversation with Anne-Sophie.
Thank you, Kwabena.
Yes. I want to ask her a question.
Okay.
Is it stressful being a diplomat, like an ambassador to a country?
Maybe she will give us a typical day in the life of a diplomat. Thank you.
Thank you, Kwamna. Let's be honest, there are much more stressful works than being a diplomat. Yes, we sometimes are overwhelmed and we have to deal with too many things at the same time and multitask. And yes, sometimes we have to be quick and reactive and answer quickly and true. But honestly, I think we are appointed because we are up to the task. And no one forces us to do that. So if it's too much for us, we can do something else. Okay. I have a choice. I can, I was not compelled to do that. So all I can be is grateful that I was appointed, that I had the privilege of doing what I had to do. And even if it's sometimes exhausting and I think it's the multitasking that's the most tiring. I also have a team working with me, and at the end of the day, it's worth it because I see that sometimes what we do and what we put a lot of efforts into doing has an impact. And honestly, when I go on the field, when I meet some people, and when I see how they struggle to make a living, I really have nothing to complain about. So the real stress is to wonder if you'll have a meal today for yourself or for your children. That's stressful, and I don't have that kind of stress.
What's your typical day like? Let's say a very busy day in the office.
Well, if it's a very busy day, I won't be in the office all the time. I will rush to the office to check my emails, and I will rush to a meeting, and then I would run to a meeting outside.
Maybe you want to hold on to that. Let's pick this lady, Natalia. Is that the name?
Natalia.
Okay, from Abavana. Hi, how are you? Hello?
I'm 8 years old. I attend in...
Sorry, can we hear you?
I attend in the vet school.
You did what?
I love French.
You love French?
Oh, let's speak some French. What can you say in French, Natalia?
Bonjour.
Bonjour, Natalia.
Voici venu le trou. Descendez au haut. J'allais joyeusement à la recrue au chantant. C'est le même moment. Petits les enfants. Courir et danser. Mais c'est tout s'amuser. My point is about break time. And every break time we play, we eat and have fun.
Amazing.
Wow. That's beautiful.
amazing.
How old are you?
8, she said 8.
8 years.
Yes.
Wow. You speak more French than my future.
Well done. Bravo. Félicitations.
beautiful.
Bravo.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Félicitations.
I want to be like you.
Oh, isn't that cute? And I wish I were like you. I wish I were 8. And I wish I could learn other languages. What other languages can you speak?
I can spell letters English.
Okay.
Okay.
And do you speak also local language, like Twi or Ga or?
Yes.
Yes.
It's mommy by you. It's mom by you.
Giovani, and by her. This is Linda.
Ah, Linda. Your mommy, yes, Linda, great to know you had, hey, I didn't even know you had a whole multilingual, whatever. Hey, Linda
I
is a
do
classmate.
love French so much.
Yeah, she loves French. Wow. Nice. Thank you. And
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thanks so much for calling us.
Thank you.
Yeah, just more French. Linda, I would like, you see, yeah, share on WhatsApp. Why? Surprised I'm playing your favorites.
Yes, I'm very surprised. Yes.
But I think 99.9% of them are asking for visa. What would you tell someone now that you've experienced a bit of Ghana? Any young person who is in a hurry to leave Ghana, to Paris for maybe greener pastures?
Well, I don't think there are greener pastures in France or in Europe. It's going to France, unless you have a job already and you have a company that's ready to hire you because you have very specific skills that are required, and then you move into France in the best conditions. But going to France illegally, like pretending you're a tourist and trying to immigrate, it's going to make your life miserable, because you will never be able to find a job, because you won't have a resident permit. You will be in an illegal situation. And yes, life may be difficult in Ghana, but you have friends, you have family, you don't die of cold, and you don't starve either. You might not be eating every day, but you
That's
do not
scary.
starve. No, but you might. But if you are in France and you are all by yourself as a foreigner with no connection, no friends, no family, and as from October until March, the temperature can go down to 0, and you're on the streets. That is, I can't see why people would like to do that. And we have to speak the truth. Some people will immigrate legally, have a chance to find a job, like they are doctors, or they go for internships, or professionals, or they go to study in a very legal frame, and they have a good experience. But trying to sneak in and then say, oh, I will find a job, it just cannot happen. It cannot happen.
We have unemployed people.
We have a lot of unemployed people
like
who are French so yes, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Right. We got another caller on. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Is this Razak?
Yes, please.
Okay,
How you
Razak,
doing?
let's hear you, bro.
Okay, so now the question I have for Ambassador S with regards to the visas you talk about. So I have a multiple entry UK visa, and then there are no more under the European Union. And I have plans of going to France for a tourist, like for some tourist sites. And looking at the visa applications with VFS and other stuff, you hardly get appointments. So is it possible I do a walk-in, or probably email them and then get a faster appointment?
All right.
With that?
Let it answer you now.
Okay,
Well, thank you very much for your question. The UK was never in the Schengen zone, so it hasn't changed much.
Okay.
The the Schengen applications are the same in all 26 countries. And yes, VFS is trying to organize the appointments, and because we've got more appointments than available slots, it's slightly overwhelmed. We are trying to clear the schedule, because we've come to realize that some people were actually overbuying appointments to sell them back. Yeah, they were.
So this is criminal.
Well, they would call it trade. So we have found some of those scammers who obviously had up to 60 appointments. So we've cancelled them all, of course, and we're digging into those appointments every week. We go through all 3 months of appointments, and every dubious, every suspicious appointment we cancel, because some are made with fake motives to try and have priority appointments, like medical emergency or family reunification or this kind of stuff. So we are now, well, VFS is still handling the schedule, but we are regularly, every week, we are going through all the appointments to try and free some slots. But we cannot help having some people who are on their mobile phone or the website, and they refresh all day long until there's a slot available, and then they catch it. And they sell it for more than the price of the appointment. When you really need an appointment and you have
genuine reasons,
for a genuine reason, then you can call VFS and ask for an earlier appointment and give a phone number, so that whenever there's a slot that becomes available, you can always, they will call you and then pick up. And also, if really it's an emergency, like a medical or a funeral or something, you really have to go for a very short notice, then you can also go onto the French Embassy website and look at the contacts, and there is an email for the visa service, and you send them an email explaining that you have registered on France Visa, that you have made an appointment with VFS, but the appointment is far too late, and that you have an emergency. And as soon as we have a slot in the morning, when we look at the list, if we find out that we have a slot available, we will call you.
All right. So, Razak, that's your answer here. There's this important one. Giovani Francis Kochi here. And it says, this will probably be the final one. We've got news coming up in a minute. Giovani, please, I'm a final year student of the Accra Technical University. I will do my service this year. I love French, and I'm fluent with French. I would love to do my national service at the embassy, the French embassy. What's the process? This would be a lifetime opportunity for me.
Oh, yes, but we don't take national service in the embassy, but the Alliance Française and some of the French network may have opportunities. So when they do, they publish that on their website.
All right. Okay, so there you have it. I want to say big thanks to you for, honoring our invitation today. It's been, weeks of appointments?
I know. Sorry.
But yeah.
But you didn't complain. You didn't complain. You didn't harass me for an appointment.
I don't complain.
On a 20 ans, la bohème.
So I want to find out from you, have 30 seconds, your favorite top 3 favorite Ghanaian songs. Faculty will put that in the mix whilst we wrap up for the news to take over.
That's terrible. Strength of a Woman.
Do you need time to think of it?
No, Strength of a Woman
by
Sarkodie featuring Stonebwoy.
Sarkodie, all right.
I'd say Hennessy by Louis Kiddy and Modelka, because it's an amazing featuring.
Sorry, which one is that?
It's called Hennessy.
Oh, okay.
Hennessy.
Yes. Hennessy by Kiddy and
Modelka, and a Tanzanian called Louis.
Oh, okay.
That's one of my favorite. And then I would say Mr. Drew. Which one of Mr. Drew? Oh, that's terrible, because there's so many. I love the latest with Episode and Kwabna Kwabna. I just adore that one. But I love Mr. Drew's this year. I think that one.
This year.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one do you want to dance to as we wrap up?
I'm not going to dance. I'm not going to dance. No, I've made a fool of myself enough. I've
you
done
danced so well. You danced with the president.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I personally saw you dance at Mona for Reals party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you personally told Mona to drag me on stage. That is the story behind it.
How do I breathe without you?
Things you continue to do to put a spotlight on our local talents, our superstars here, and of course strengthening the ties, of course, between Ghana and France. We want to say thank you. You're going to be missed, though. Yes, that's one thing for sure. But it's good you're promising us that here is home,
Yes.
and that you're always going to be around.
Thank
so
you. Yeah,
thank
I
you
will.
so
I
much.
will. Thank
And your final words to your fans and to those listening to us.
Well, to all Ghanaians, I want to thank them wholeheartedly for amazing 4 years that I've spent here. Thanks to each and every one of them. All I have received was love and welcome and hospitality. And I'm trying to give back with my fund, and I'm trying to. I will come back.
That's right. I will be back. Tell me
I will
later.
be back. I will be back. I will be back.
Thank you so much,
you.
Your Excellency
Thank
Anne-Sophie,
you.
the French ambassador. Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your time.
Thank
Up
you,
next
Giovani.
is Eric Agbata.